Traders, welcome back to the channel. We're talking about AMC. I'm giving you the straight up price action and a special shout out to Trey because I'm going to mention you in this video. Is it good? Is it bad? Wait and see. Also, I think I'm figuring out how to talk to you guys, or should I say ladies, because I need to talk to you like I'm smooth talking a woman, okay? I can't be so direct with you. So I'm going to smooth talk you. I'm going to simplify the charts for you just like I would for a woman. That's no offense. If you're a woman watching me, I love you just as much as I love the men.
What?
But let's not waste any more time. Let's get to the content. Subscribe, like, I don't even care anymore. Let's just get to it. Okay, so this is the first thing we're talking about. This is about Trey. Trey posted this and I absolutely love what he's talking about. Now, I don't know if he talked about this in a stream or anything else like that, but I love what he posted right here because it shows the short interest is increasing. Now, this is the whole thesis behind my last video. Now, a lot of you guys are ignorant and you don't watch the whole video, but the people that do, you realize what I'm talking about. Congratulations. I appreciate you and I love you even more than the rest. Just kidding. I love all the people, all the subs equally. But as we look at this, the short interest is increasing, and this makes sense because we're seeing the sentiment and it getting priced in about the dilution most likely going to happen. Now, there is a possibility that the dilution does not happen, and this is what I was talking about. No matter what, the short interest is most likely going to increase going into the dilution. No matter what, it's going to increase. Now, if the dilution happens, people are like, guys, there can't be no short squeeze. Completely false. Like we know, they're not going to implement all the debt at once. They're not going to just dilute all the stock at once. Now, over the next 6-7 months, they're probably going to issue all of it because they're going to remove that debt and the interest on top of it. That's just smart business. I don't really care what the CEO says. At the end of the day, he has to provide for him and his family. I think he cares for the shareholders, but I think he has to do what's best for the company and what's best for his job. I'm just saying, if that was me, it's my job. That's what I would have to do. Now, what am I talking about here? Why am I so excited? Besides the short interest increasing, yes, it is increasing. This is promising because even if the dilution does happen, let's go over the two scenarios once again. Let's say the dilution happens. I see the short interest still going to increase over time. Yes, even with the dilution slowly happening, the short interest will continue to follow, increase. Now, I picture most people apes getting out of this stock just out of fear if that happens. I think some people will do that. But if you're holding stock, and this is what I'm talking about, there's people that hold stock and then there's options. So there's short term and then there's long term. That's the viewpoint right there. So you have to know when I'm talking short term, I'm typically talking to the people trading options because they want to know what's happening tomorrow, the next day, and what's going on. And it's sad to say, but over the next month, I see sideways trending, and we're going to get into the picture. You can skip ahead if you want, but yeah. So in the short term going into May 4th, whenever the dilution vote is happening, right? I see sideways action. Now, if the dilution does not happen, let's say the dilution does not happen, I see the short interest still being raised, and we could possibly see a massive influx of price. I'm talking crazy movement. Anything could happen, but you have to know over time, they're going to have to dilute or take on more debt or do something because they just aren't making enough money right now. You can talk about opening sales, but they've already forecasted with the analysts even raising their price target. They're not going to return back to pre-COVID levels until 2023. Okay, you have to know that even with the bullish outlook from analysts raising the targets, they even recognize it's going to take till 2023 to get their numbers back to normal. So they need to take on more money to pay off this debt because they're in a predicament right now. So I see dilution being the best answer for this. I see them trying to figure this out some type of way. Either way, long term, short term, I see it working out. Short term, if the dilution doesn't happen, very good for you. We're probably gonna see crazy movement because the short interest increased 5% over the past few days. That's insane. That's really good news. And then also, as we look at iBorrowDesk, I think this number is gonna start ramping up as well, as long as you're moving sideways. It's sitting at 1.8%. Now, this could be a variable and not true. That's to be decided. I also recommend looking at Root because this number is getting pretty large on Root if you haven't looked. Anyways, but yes, I see this number increasing over time. So then we're gonna take a look at the actual option flow. Now, going into yesterday, it was pretty bad. Even with the move that we were getting yesterday, the flow was siding with the bears. And then as we moved into today, you're going to see it sided a lot more with the bulls, even with the downtrending. A lot of people were buying options, call options on top of that going into, these were longer dated, to be honest, back into 2022. So people are following this sentiment as well that the long-term play is still there. I mean, you might have to wait till January, but it's still there in my opinion. But let's look at the short-term price action. Let's look at what's going on. Shout out to Trey for that posting that. I really do appreciate, because I don't use Ortex, so that's awesome. I just don't pay for it, but that's important to know that the short interest ratio of shorts is going to increase. I understand that, but I believe more hedge funds are going to get back into shorts, and it's going to get right back to where we are. That's just what I believe. And either way, for holding shares, I feel confident in those. Just be prepared for a battle, be prepared for a hold. But as we look at the charts, this is where you're interested. Now, I know there's a lot. Like I said, I'm going to smooth talk you. I'm going to talk to you like I would the ladies, okay? So bear with me. We got a lot going on here, a lot of pretty colors. This is your mood today. You're unhappy. This is you. I understand. Now, if you're a holder, who cares? This is good. The first thing I want to highlight, and I don't see too many people talking about it, it's going to ruin my drawings, but we're getting the sideways action. And why is this important? We're getting this sideways action, okay? Trending in this range. We're going to come back, but where did this happen before? Where were we so bullish when this happened? Let's take a trip back in time, if you will, to $6 and $5.50 range, okay? This was the most exciting. This is where I became an AMC bull, because on this ride down, everyone knows Tyler was a bear. Tyler said this thing is going down. We kept coming down. Even here, I was a bear. But then something crazy happened. We shot up, and then we started holding. And I was like, okay, something's going on. We need to start watching this. And then we just started trending in this block, and I was like, okay, if we pop above this $6 range and hold on the 15-minute chart, it's go time. Go look at the videos. It is what it is. Whatever you want to say, right, wrong, I don't care. This is honest content. That's all it's about here, okay? Right? And then we started popping. We held in this range for nearly two and a half weeks. It was a while. I see us holding in this range over here. It is a little bit larger, okay? You have to recognize this area is a little bit larger, about 50 cents larger. It's about a $2 block, maybe $2.50. It just depends. But we're sitting here. It's really good action that we're getting. This is that median, that monthly open of March, or monthly open of April, I'm sorry. And this is where I see the hedgy hammer. And this is where this right here is the hedgy hammer, if you didn't, get the gist, right? And what the hedgy hammer does is it bumps us down to the support, and it also knocks us up to the resistance. And you can see we are respecting this resistance and this support, okay? Like you got to understand, we're respecting this range. Okay, we're mounting it here, shooting back up. We're getting resisted here, shooting back down. We come back to that median range. We get stuck underneath it, and then we get pushed back down. Same thing. We mount it again, push back up. It keeps happening. Price action is one of the only constants right now. We know where the support is. We know where the resistance is. This is one thing we can look at. And I see us staying in this range for the month of April. Okay, unless we get some really crazy news, I see us sitting in this range. And it's worth noting, I have magnets here to even simplify it further for you. Okay, the magnets are drawing the price action upward. They're drawing it back downward. So whenever the hedgy hammer, if it gets above that resistance, the hedgy hammer pushes it towards that magnet. It pushes it back down towards the bottom magnet, okay? You got to understand that's what's happening, and it keeps happening. And then today, we're closing underneath this median level. That's worth noting. Now, am I saying we're going to push down? I don't know yet. I need to see tomorrow how we open, but if we start pushing below this weekly level as well, it's highly likely we start coming back down. But there's no reason to start panicking, in my opinion, unless we hold below this 8.86. I've been saying that. That's the main area. We just got to hold above 8.86. We start holding below there, I would start getting a little bit freaked out. We're making higher lows. It still looks good. You can see overall this is a pennant as well. We're making lower highs and higher lows, so you can definitely see that that is going on. Just for all you triangle lovers out there, we can draw some lines on the chart for the boys. So you see the higher lows, lower highs are being formed. That's worth noting as well. It's definitely pinching. That's pretty good news. But now I want to take a really quick look at the OBV. There's no cute drawings here, so don't get your hopes up. As we look here, again, we're getting pretty similar movement. It's a little bit more sporadic than we had at that local bottom. We're going to check back. But you see, we're getting that action trending up, had a crash back down, trending back up, crashing back down. We just want to hold this range. All we want to do is continue to hold the range trending up and down going into the end of the month, because near the end of the month is when we're going to get that catalyst. The worrisome part is we started trending in this range near the end of March. That's what I don't love. Could we hold this for 30 days overall? It's a possibility, and that would be a very long trending. If we trend that long, the possibility of opening call options are going to be very lucrative if we trend in this range that long. But the longer we hold near the support and get really crazy volatile action, the worse that does look on the OBV. I'm not going to lie to you. That part won't look that great. But this is what we had going on before when we were at that $7 range back in February. We were just pushing down, consolidating, pushing down, and then we started to bottom, okay? We started to bottom, and then we started shooting up. And we started making those higher lows. Once again, those higher lows just forming right there. So that's what you're looking for here. Now, the main thing you're going to watch, again, if you're looking, you're like, Tyler, when does this get bad? Tyler, when do you become a bear? Tyler, you're a bear. Whatever you're thinking in your head, okay? So you got to bear with me. We got to go back to the drawing. So I got to make this super simple. I got to, talk to you. I got to smooth talk you, okay? I understand now. I got to smooth talk you. If we hold below this area right here, got to make it really bold and pretty. 8.87, that's bad. Until then, we're fine, okay? As long as we're just trending in this area in between X and Y, up and down, I don't care. Very good. Consolidation, very good. And I do suspect, again, I suspect this number to start increasing. I suspect the short fee to start increasing. I suspect the short interest to also start increasing as we keep trending in this range. Because when we were trending before, that short interest number started really, really increasing. And that's what was super interesting about what was going on. And that's what we saw in this 9.4 area when we got rejected. The short interest number, the fee was going through the roof. That's the important part. I love what's going on. That's my thesis. If you have questions, if you're confused, I don't know how you can be confused. I drew it out for you. Pretty pictures, pretty colors, everything like that. Comment down below. I'll try to answer. Now, I understand there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people that don't like Tyler. I know. Honesty hurts. You know what? It does hurt, but it's the best thing for our relationship, me and you. I got to smooth talk you, and that's what I'm doing here. All right, guys, so I'm not going to take you back over there or anything like that. We're going to talk right here. Closing my thoughts on AMC. This is what I think. We're trending between X, we're trending between Y. That's what's happening, okay? When do I feel comfortable to enter? If we mount above that top resistance, I'll feel very confident, okay? If we start to mount above 1120, I'll feel very interested in options. But you're saying, Tyler, you don't have shares? No, the channel is called Option Drops, okay? Because I trade options here. That's what Tyler does, okay? Typically, I'm trading options unless it's in my long-term portfolio, and AMC just isn't a long-term stock for me personally. I just don't like the long-term. I like the short-term triple, 4x my money. That's what I like here. 2, this is what we want. The OBV. If the OBV starts trending on the upside, very big indicator that a breakout is most likely coming. 3, we also want to see that short fee start to raise. We want to see that number start to rise. Okay, that's not the top on the list. That's not super important, but it'll be a very good indicator. And if we trend in this range, that number should start to increase. Even if we're rising up, it'll start to increase. It just should based on where we're consolidating at. Could it not increase? Possibility. Yes, I agree. There's manipulation going on with AMC, 110%. But I'm not going to sit here and talk about stuff that I can't prove, okay? I'm not going to sit and talk about stuff that we can't control. I'm going to look at the controllables. I'm going to look at the constants that we see every single day. That's what I'm going to chart on. That's what I'm going to trade based on. Hope you got something out of this. If you did, hit the sub, hit the like. I don't care anymore. Do whatever you want. Have a good one, boys. Namaste.